Hi everyone, Tara here. This is my Ember Tetra and Endler tank, and I thought I would show you guys an update on each tank a little more often. And I thought I would start with the worst situation first to just kind of get it out of the way. You can see there's a lot of plants that need to be trimmed, and there's a lot of maintenance that hasn't been being done, like the dirty thermometer and stuff like that. There is a reason for that. So there's a female Endler here in the middle of the screen, and she started out with a little bit of a pinched belly. It's nothing I haven't seen before with worms. I didn't see any red threads hanging out, so I treated her with ProziPro and gave her like a week to recover, and I didn't see any improvement. So I went with a general cure and did 2 rounds of that. So that is praziquantel and metronidazole. And during that time, she just got worse and worse. And now I have an Ember Tetra that looks the same also. It's a little bit hard to see here. I did have a little bit of trouble getting the lighting and focus right. But in addition to the very pinched belly and the bent spine, there is also a little bit of a razorback appearance. So I am sort of starting to suspect possible fish TB. So that's why I haven't been doing a ton of maintenance on this tank lately, aside from just basic water changes. I am leery of sticking my hands into the tank. I don't make a habit of sticking my arms in the tank if I have broken skin on them anyway, but it's been a little while. Like, I just had some scratches on my right hand. Those are healed now, but I have some broken skin on my right forearm and my left hand due to my psoriasis. I ordered like a 3-pack of some really long rubber gloves from Amazon. I did not know that there was a strike going on. And the expected delivery date is at least a month out yet. So I believe there are some at Harbor Freight that I can get that are PVC that I can use in the meantime. I did read a pretty good article on fish TB that was on aquariumscience.org. It talks about fish tuberculosis, the symptoms, and that a lot of fish apparently can live and be perfectly fine with this and not show any symptoms. That it's usually like some kind of stress that weakens the fish's immune system and makes the symptoms start showing up. It also mentioned that Diana Wallstead used a UV sterilizer in a tank to reverse the signs of fish TB. So that's what I've got. Up here in the left, this apparatus here is the green killing machine. I'm not sponsored or anything, but that's what I got. And I was able to read her article. If you go to her website, there is a link where you can download a PDF with that article in it. And I will post both that and the aquariumscience.org in the description of this. There were some Q&As on the website under the little brief thing there that talked about it. And apparently you are supposed to remove the fish that have the worst symptoms and destroy them. So I have done that. And even though I use clove oil, which is like a really peaceful method of doing that, I hate it. I absolutely hate doing that. I could never be a vet. It just sucks. But part of what I guess I have to do here. So with these fish, I don't feel like I should go full nuclear and just euthanize everything living in this tank yet. A lot of these fish look perfectly healthy, and I don't feel like it would be ethical for me to just do that with fish that seem healthy. And according to what I read, a lot of fish can be perfectly healthy and be carriers of this disease. One of the things I have done is raise the tank temperature to 80, which is a little on the warm side for the endlers. However, that is not only going to increase their metabolic rate, but it's also going to ramp up their immune system, which they need to fight this off if this is TB. Yeah, I am not an expert in fish disease. I know like certain things, what they look like and how to treat them. I've been through quite a few things with my fish actually, but you know, I could be wrong. I would like to be wrong, but I'm gonna do this just in case. Also, according to what I've read, it is likely in more than one of my tanks, especially because I have moved fish from this tank into 2 other tanks. But I guess you can't know until you know, right? I guess what I will do is just look and see if any more of them start showing symptoms. The UV sterilizer, I guess it just reduces the amount of microbacteria in the water column and makes it less likely for you to catch it yourself and reduces the transmission between fish. And now that I'm done talking about all that super fun stuff, I can show you some other things that I have going on in this tank. I have a ton of blue dream shrimp. I've got 2 crypt spiralis right here that are growing. I've got this is a crypt Wendetii green gecko. I still have this Atlansberg sword that does put out pink newer leaves and then they fade to green. It's getting quite full. I've got some crypt balancea in the back there. I put 2 of those in from another tank and looks like there is another little runner popping up of it there. I still have the willow hygro that really needs to have the tops trimmed off and replanted. These are Pogostemon octopus. They have not grown very much since I put them in like a couple months ago. I think like right about there on that one where it's lost some leaves is when I moved them over here. And so I don't know, maybe it's just too much light for that plant because they go crazy in my lower light tanks. This is a Twin Star E series light. And when I took this off CO2, I was really worried that everything was just going to get covered in Blackbeard, but I thought, let me see how it goes. And there's really not that much Blackbeard algae going on. Like I think there's a little bit right in here. For this tank, I was using this thing. And I do not recommend these things. I got them early on to sort of try out and see if I liked CO2 before I invested in a big setup. These are a major pain in the ass, regulating the bubble count, turning them on and off. Every night you have to use this knob, and this knob is finicky. And this one, the valve finally broke. They're also really expensive because this thread pitch for the canister is proprietary. So you have to buy the Fluval canisters for it. So instead of replacing it, I just decided to unhook it. Across the room, I have my big setup here, but in order to get it to that tank I just showed, I would have to run it up on the wall and across the ceiling and back over to that tank. Sorry if that made you dizzy. I do have some algae on this piece of wood that's in here, and see the sort of darker green, puffy looking algae. I don't know what kind that is, but I really like it, It showed up after I stopped using CO2. I've been trying to encourage it in this tank. The Blackbeard there, I don't like it. I was picking that off and hoping the dark green would spread. This AR I took from a different tank, this one, and it looked just like this when I put it in. But after a few months of being in this tank, you can see it's grown kind of spindly and just looks overall weak. So I fertilized this tank with the exact same stuff I do in the other, just more in this one because this is a 29, that one was a 20, but yeah, it just doesn't do that great for me over here. Some Cryptolucens here, a few stems of Bacopa caroliniana in here that aren't all that happy either. And I have all this moss that's just going totally crazy because I haven't been able to trim it. But that's pretty much the update on this tank for now. And if you're still with me, I did get the Harbor Freight gloves. So here's my hand. And here's my other hand in the Harbor Freight glove, which is so big that when I go to grasp things, I found that it was slipping off. So I have 2 fingers in each of the finger holes there. Nothing here. I don't know who, like, there's as much room in my thumb. All of this is just empty here. I don't know who they thought this was gonna fit, but it does come up to my shoulder and it is waterproof, so it's gonna work for the meantime. I just wanted to show you because I thought it was pretty funny, and I hope you guys did too. I hope you all have a really great new year. Bye.